Hi everybody, welcome back to another video on my dark and mysterious journal. Now, I have had a bit of a sort out this week. I've got two signatures in my journal, and if you've watched any of my videos you will know I'm experimenting with decorating the pages before I sew them in. But what I realised was that everything was just getting a bit big and bulky. So I've actually had to do a little bit of culling, and I've taken some of those pages out and I've shuffled some stuff around. So now I have two signatures, both of which have round about 16 pages. And I think that's going to be a lot more workable in terms of this journal not getting too big. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you may notice as we go through that some things have moved around. But anyway, I've also sorted out my box, which I use when I'm creating a journal, and I sort of throw things in there that I think might fit with the journal and whatever the theme is. And I've had a big sort out of that as well this week. So I've got a pile of potential tags. I've got a pile of hidden paper clips, a pile of small pictures or potential journal cards. Anyway, had a big sort out. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you two different pockets, which I'm going to make ready to go into the journal. The first one is based on a gatefold, and we're going to do some interesting things with that. And the second one is a sort of a hidden pocket or little ephemera keeper, and we'll talk more about that when we get to it. But I was quite intrigued. I saw this, I think it was a Facebook reel the other day, and as I say, I'll talk a bit more about it when we get there, but this is quite intriguing. All right, so pockets. These, as I say, going in my dark and mysterious journal, but you can apply the same techniques to any theme. So sit back, relax and enjoy. Okay, as I say, this first pocket is based on a gatefold card. This, you can make these any size. This piece is about, well, it's roughly 7 inches by 5, and it's been folded so that the two sides meet in the middle. So easy to do. Measure across your long edge, find your halfway point, and then fold the two sides in to meet there. Now, my bone folder, just crease down the edges. The lovely thing about these pockets is that they can be made really with sort of bits and pieces that you have left over. I'm just going to ink the edges of these before I do anything else, because this is a scrapbooking card, but it has a white core, so when you cut it you do see the white along the edges, and I just want to get rid of that before I do anything else. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do, and I have cut some pieces ready for this, but reasonably easy. This is just a scrap of card that I've cut into a rectangle, and then I have used my circle punch just to take out the top piece, and I'm going to pop these on the front two sides of the pocket. I'm just going to trim this one because it's not quite straight. That's a bit better. So I'm going to pop those on there like that. Now before I do, I'm just going to put a little bit of decoration on them. I don't want too much because there's quite a bit going on here already, but I feel they just need a little bit of something. So I've grabbed a gold ink pad and a blending brush, and I've got this stencil. Now I actually cut this on, this is a die cut that I have actually, and I've cut quite a thick piece of card out with it, and it makes a great stencil, and I thought it's sort of got the same geometric designs on it. Now I'm not going to put this all over, I'm just going to add a couple of little highlights, as I say, just to give a bit of colour. There we go, just a little bit of something. I'll do the same on this one. There we go. Now I have got this gold tape. I'm wondering whether it needs a little bit of that as well. Or whether that'll look too much. Let's see. Okay. What I'm doing is just trying this to see. I think this will look right if I can line it up with this line here. Yep. Okay. So I need to get the other one in the same place. And I'm just going to tuck those edges in underneath like that. Okay. This is a glue called Tiger Grip. It's a nice strong glue, and I use it for pockets and card, you know, the thicker type card. Now I want to line that washi tape up in the middle. And exactly the same with this one. There we go. So we've got two little pockets on the front. There we are. So we've got those two pockets on the front. Now, when we open it, what I've got is a couple of printables here, which have got a bit of a clock theme. I'm not quite sure where they came from actually now, but my idea is to put one on each side like that, and I'm going to cut this bigger one down to go in the middle. So let's do that. Now, before I find somewhere to pop this into my journal, I want to think about a closure, and there's a number of ways you can do this, depending on sort of the theme you are going for. You can have a little circle closure like this one, and then wind some string around. But for this one, before I stick it into my journal, I'm going to attach this piece of ribbon to the back so that it can just be tied off like this. Alright, so this is a bit of a scrappy offcut. I quite like that frayed look on that end, so I'm going to see if I can do the same this end. I'm just finding the middle. Now, if this is going to be glued into your journal, you can attach this with anything, or you can just attach it as you glue it in. But these little pockets can also be used as standalone. You know, they don't, what I'm trying to say is they don't have to be stuck in. They can be just popped into a pocket themselves, or into a tuck spot or a belly band, and can be used as little hidden journaling spots. This is slippery. There we go. So yes, you can use this and put hidden journaling spots inside. I chose to put another pocket, but you can put journaling spots, or even you can put a little notepad in the middle here. So really versatile. I've got a couple of little, there we go, a couple of little journaling cards that I'm going to pop in there. There we go. So I'll find a page later for that one to go in. Before I do, let's have a look at the other pocket that I wanted to show you today. And I saw this. There's a lady on Facebook, and her first name is Perita, and I will try and I'll find her proper name and put it up in the corner for you. She does some amazing reels on Facebook and shows lots of different pockets and various things for junk journals, and she's very inspiring. So if you haven't found her, do check her out. Alright, so what you need for this is a square of cardboard and 4 circles. Now I've cut these, this is a gel print that I'd made, and I've cut them using one of my dies, so it has the scalloped edges, but you can just use a big circle punch. You can do this whatever size you like. Now the thing is, the sides of your square need to be the same as the diameter of your circle. I was thinking diameter or circumference. Diameter, across, measure across there when it's folded in half, and that needs to be the same length. Now this is really simple but really effective. So you need 4 circles, and as you can see, I have folded all of them in half. I'm just going to burnish these. Now, as I say, I've done this with a gel print. You could do this with scrapbook paper, anything you like really. And all I'm going to do is to glue. And I'm going to glue 1/2 of the circle. Once I've got some glue on there, I'm going to line it up and stick it down. And I'm going to do exactly the same with the other three. Alright, so what you end up with is a square of card with 4 circles attached. Now what you can do is to fold this up, tuck the last one in, and you have a little secret ephemera keeper, journaling spot, journal card holder. And again, you can decorate this in whatever way you want to. You could put a tie around it just as I did the other one. You can stick this in to your journal so that it's fixed, or again you can have it to slip under a belly band, into a pocket, whatever your preference is. And you just open it up and you have, as I say, everything inside. So you could turn this into a journaling spot, or you could pop journaling cards in. You can pop little pieces of ephemera in there, whatever takes your fancy. So let's find somewhere to put these 2 pockets. And we'll see how our journal is going. Aha. So I think that this will go on here nicely. The colours tie in. I want to do something with the background of this page first, I think. So I'm just going to pull this page out, and this is where I've been finding there's an advantage to not fixing pages in before you decorate them. But I'm going to pick up on the pattern that I used earlier, and I'm just going to add in a little bit. There's my brush. I'm going to add in, can you see that? Yeah. And again, I'm not gonna do the whole thing. Just some bits so that we're not looking at a blank page. There we go. Hopefully you can see that on through the camera. Yeah. I'm going to turn it up the other way and do a bit more up here to give that balance. And this is a really easy way to make stencils if you've got a die cut machine. Even, and I mean, I have one of the really old Cuttlebugs, but you can still get dies for them, and you know, you can, anything that cuts a pattern like this makes it an amazing stencil. All right, let's have a look before we add any more. Still think it needs a little bit of something else. I'm wondering about some bits of washi tape here. Let's find my lid for a moment. There we go. I've got these 2 and I've got that gold one. Okay, now I've just noticed these on my desk here. Again, just a little printed journaling card. We're just going to see whether these, if I cut them, separate them out, whether they're small enough. Sorry, concentrating and working and talking at the same time. Nearly. Okay, what about if we take the rest of that black off? So there we go, that's our pocket. You can untie it and put a couple of journaling cards inside. As I say, you could have put journaling spots or anything in there, but for me there's a couple of journaling cards in there and another couple of tiny little ones on the front with some tags to pull them out. So we'll pop this back into the journal, and there we go. Ideally that ribbon could have been a little bit longer, but it was a scrap I was using up, so we'll make it work. Alright, let's pop that back in. Now let's find somewhere for a little hidden pocket come ephemera keeper to go. Could go quite nicely on there actually, couldn't it? Because this hidden paper clip could move, and I like the fact the square is reflecting the square of the page, so I think that's going to be good on there. We'll find somewhere else for that to go in a moment. Alright, let's pull this one out and get this one stuck in. Let's try and get that straight, especially with that geometric pattern on there. Now I'm off to find some little bits of ephemera to go in there, I think, but before I do, just to finish this page off, I'll just grab my purple ink pad, and this white is actually texture paste, and so what I want to do is just rub really lightly over the top of some of the texture paste, because that, if you can see, is just giving a little bit of a purple colour there. Now the thing is to know when to stop, isn't it? I think I'm going to do a little bit there and a bit more down here. And yes, I could have done this before before I stuck the pocket in, but you know what, I didn't think about it. I think that's enough. It's just picking up that we've still got some white and some purple, or lilac, whatever colour it is. What is it? It's an archival purple, pearlescent purple. There you go. But you've got some that's picking up the purpley colours in here, and some of the white, which is picking up the white on the gel print. So I am going to stop. I'm not going to do too much more. Yeah, that's fine. All right. These are lovely ink pads, actually. I've had this for ages. I'm just looking to see who it's made by. It's that Sukineko, if that's how it's pronounced. I never know. I've got quite a few of their things. And I never quite know how it's pronounced. I've had these for ages, but they're really lovely. And you do just get a little bit of a sparkle when you turn them in the light. So there you go, another simple pocket added in. For now, I'll pop the hidden paper clip on that other page, just so that we don't lose it. And there we go, that goes back into our journal. So that's it for today, folks. 2 quite simple pockets, but quite effective, and you can take them in a number of different ways. So thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please do like and subscribe, and that way you and others get to see what else I do. But for now, from the Dark and Mysterious Journal, ka kite anō.